Back in 1993, Steven Spielberg released Jurassic Park, a grandiose film about resurrecting dinosaurs and the terrors that could come with such a process. The film was so successful that it spawned two sequels. However, neither of these sequels, being The Lost World Jurassic Park from 1997 and Jurassic Park 3, which came out in 2001, neither of those films did justice to the masterpiece that had been their predecessor, Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park had three main things that, for me, made the film what it was. For one, despite his goofiness and the blatant overacting of some of the actors, for the most part, Jurassic Park's cast was pretty decent. Jeff Goldblum he was definitively Jeff Goldblum, but Sam Neill did a good part. Samuel L. Jackson was alright for the part that he played. And all in all, what Jurassic Park had going for it was interesting technologies that we hadn't seen before. There was characters that you could genuinely get attached to and invested in. And then there were the dinosaurs, which the puppetry and CGI mix of the dinosaurs for Jurassic Park made it both good and bad. There are some moments where maybe the technical factors are blatantly obvious. Like, I recall there's the scene with the dinosaur with the frills on the side, and you can very definitively see them pull the strings to make that happen. But for the most part, otherwise the special effects were genuinely good, and you could believe in them. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, after the 14-year hiatus that the absolute stink bomb that was Jurassic Parks 2 and 3 sullied the name of the Jurassic Park franchise, finally I can come to you and say, my fellow Jurassic Park fans, Jurassic Park has just come back in a big way. For those who don't know what I'm getting to with this, Jurassic World is, in my opinion, the greatest Jurassic Park movie that has been released. It is even greater to me than the first movie. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. But let me give you the basic skivvy of what Jurassic World is about. Now, I'm going to give a warning to all of you. This is a spoiler warning. I will be talking about things that happen in the movie, so if you haven't seen the film, or you want to see the film, maybe don't watch this video yet. I will not blame you if you pause this video right now and wait until you see Jurassic World. But if you feel like you can hear about the movie without it taking away from your experience, and honestly, there's nothing I can say about this movie that'll do it justice. This is a film you need to go see. But let's start from the beginning. Jurassic World centers around two brothers whose parents are currently in the middle of a schism. I say a schism and not a split because the split never actually occurs in the movie. Now, these two brothers are being sent to Jurassic World by their parents because the mother's sister, their aunt, is a high-up worker in the company for Jurassic World, and so she can get them VIP access bracelets and all that good stuff. And so we get a good look at the park. We get to see Jurassic World, and it's exactly as I imagined it would be. It looks just like it did from the trailer. But it's really expansive, and I liked that once again they show quite a few kinds of dinosaurs. Now, I admit I'm a little disappointed since the different species of dinosaur that was shown in Jurassic World I could literally count on one hand. We get to see a T-Rex, we get to see a Velociraptor, we get to see some Ankylosaurs, we get to see a couple Stegosauruses, and we see some Brachiosauruses. Oh, and there's also some Triceratops. So I guess that's six. So six kinds of dinosaurs. But I don't mind that because the rest of the movie has its own definitive plot. The basic plot is, like in Jurassic Park 1, the scientists at Jurassic World have been fooling around with genetic modification, and this time they have created for the park, in order to raise attendance and to revitalize the economy of the park, they have created this dinosaur that is a mixture of a Tyrannosaurus Rex's DNA and a mystery dinosaur. And because of this, they're not, or the workers at the park who get this dinosaur and have, like, no information about it, one day they fall victim to the cleverness of this genetically modified hybrid dinosaur that manages to trick them into thinking it has escaped its cage. And this fucking thing eats the two security guards that were with Chris Pratt. And as Chris Pratt is like hiding beneath this car, you get to see the first real glimpse of this fucking dinosaur. And let me tell you, if this is a CGI dinosaur, then it is the best fucking CGI dinosaur I've ever seen. Now, it looks a little goofy, I can admit that, but only if you stare at it for a long period of time. And that's only in the passive moments. When it's actively going after people, it doesn't look goofy, it looks genuinely fucking terrifying. Like, I felt the same sense of horror and, like, fear that I felt from the original T-Rex in the first movie that I did for this dinosaur. And this fucking thing goes rampant. It goes across the fucking island, killing Brachiosauruses and shit, just left and right, dropping herds of them. It gets into the flying dinosaur enclosure and it frees all of the pterosaurs and shit. That's where one of the really famous scenes in the trailer with all the flying dinosaurs comes from. And there had been this British assistant, this poor woman, who had been deemed with the task of looking after the aunt's two nephews, and she gets kidnapped by a pterosaur, flown high into the air over the mesosaur pool, and this fucking pterosaur proceeds to repeatedly dip this poor girl in the water, and you're just watching terrified as it keeps getting a grip and losing her and getting a grip again. And just when you think the pterosaur is gonna lift up with her and like take her off to eat her, out of the fucking depths comes the mesosaur. And this fucking thing just gulps down this pterosaur and this woman. One and all. And it was horrifying to watch. That genuinely made me a little sick to my stomach. And that was just... It gets worse from there. And I don't mean worse as in like the bad. I just mean like for the characters. I mean, in the events of releasing the flying dinosaurs, the fucking hybrid caused the death of like the main Indian guy who had come on John Hammond's company's behalf to look into the park. This fucking military dude who had been real into the Velociraptor pack that Chris Pratt's training in this movie, and they like follow his commands, he's got a clicker and whatever. They're trying to weaponize those Velociraptors. And for a while there, they keep getting held at bay by the Indian guy who later dies in the chopper. But as soon as he's gone, like, the military guys make a complete overhaul, and they get on the idea that they're going to have this mission where they're going to have these velociraptors attack, or rather seek out, this hybrid dinosaur, because between the cuttlefish and the tree frog DNA they implanted in it, it's basically impervious to thermal detection equipment, which is fucking terrifying. This thing can literally make itself invisible, like, to your sight, and then invisible to radar. And the God, the kids are kind of frustrating at first throughout the movie. There's like this younger brother who's in like middle school, and then there's a high school brother who's all like sallow and angsty and always has his headphones on listening to music, and he's real brusque and has no feelings, or his only feeling is angst or that kind of shit. But even he gets a little less overbearing as the movie goes on. And you get to see those cool spheres that they get to ride in that you saw in the fucking commercial. And there's a Jimmy Fallon cameo because he's doing the like instructional video for the sphere, and that was really funny. I enjoyed that. But the climax to this film, the climax is the absolute greatest. Military dude's been killed by one of the velociraptors. The velociraptors have prior to that been coerced by the hybrid dinosaur to turn against the humans, and so they just slaughter a bunch of these fucking humans. And then Chris Pratt, I guess, with the soul of Wildheart, or whatever the fuck you want to call his alpha standing with the velociraptor pack or whatever, I guess the lead velociraptor goes back over to his side, and then the other raptors kind of team up with him to take down the hybrid, but they inevitably, all but one of them gets killed by the hybrid when they turn against him, which was kind of sad. And the fourth velociraptor of the pack gets blown up by a rocket launcher earlier on. But so you're watching this film and you were just freaking out because all the characters, they don't know what to do. All the armed people they've set up have been fucking either eaten or just plain out taken out. And they're like, we don't know what we're going to do. We don't know what we're going to do. And it's really interesting because this film had so many winks at the original Jurassic Park. Those cheeky bastards even had the movie take place on the original island, people. Yes, this movie, Jurassic World, takes place on the island where Jurassic Park took place. You literally get taken through the ruins of the original Jurassic Park. And at the end, when they're wondering, they're like, how are we going to take out this dinosaur? How are we going to take out this dinosaur? And all of a sudden, they start talking about this mysterious bunker that's hidden down in the cells of the fucking, like, original park. And you know what they brought out of it? Do you know what dinosaur they brought out to fight this hybrid? They brought out the original T-Rex from Jurassic Park. That T-Rex that terrorized the fuck out of Jeff Goldblum and all them. The one that beat the fucking velociraptors at the end of the first movie and roared its victory. Yeah, that fucking T-Rex. And I was just like, oh my god. And about that mystery dinosaur DNA, in case you haven't guessed now by the fact that the hybrid dinosaur coerced the velociraptors into, like, helping it was a T-Rex and velociraptor hybrid. And so how they beat it is through a literal Tyrannosaurus Rex and a literal velociraptor teaming up to fight this fucking thing. And even before the Velociraptor joins in, when the T-Rex first gets revealed and he first starts fighting the hybrid dinosaur, the Indominus Rex as they call it, it is one of the most epic fucking things I've seen in a long time. They played opera music. They had these two humongous dinosaurs just going at it. It was everything I had hoped that this fucking movie would lead up to. But the real end, the real victor of that fucking fight between T-Rex and Velociraptor versus Indominus Rex is the fucking Mesosaur. That's right, because that cheeky T-Rex and that Velociraptor led the Indominus Rex to the edge of the Mesosaur's tank, and the fucking Mesosaur just came right up out of the water, grabbed that Indominus Rex by the fucking throat, and dragged him down. God, it was satisfying. Oh, that's a Jurassic Park movie. That is what's going to revitalize the franchise. That Hollywood is the kind of shit you have to do. These are the kind of films that get me excited to go see more films. These are the kind of films that make me think, oh my god, Hollywood's finally getting their shit together. It's finally going to be worth going to see a summer blockbuster. And that's definitively what the message of this video is, folks. This is the summer film of the year. This is the film for you to watch. If you go see no other film for the rest of 2015, you go see Jurassic World. Go see it multiple times even. Because I guarantee you, you will enjoy it every single time that you watch it. And I know it may sound like I'm gushing, but you gotta understand, I am a huge Jurassic Park fan. And I have been excited about Jurassic World ever since the first trailers came out. And to be able to go see that movie in 3D on the big screen and to see it come out so well is just so fucking satisfying for me as a fan. So, that's my spiel about Jurassic World. I'm sorry if I spoiled a bunch for it. I didn't mention a bunch of other stuff about the plot, because I leave that up to you to watch it, and you can figure it out on your own. Watch this movie. If you love dinosaurs, watch this movie. If you love Jurassic Park, watch this movie. If you don't care for dinosaurs or Jurassic Park, and you just want a good old summer blockbuster that you can watch and get into, go see this movie. Movie Cuban here, 10 out of 10 for this film. It's fantastic, it's phenomenal, it's fucking amazing. And I hope that Terminator Genesys is half as good as this film turned out to be. Because if it is, then I'll have another good film to look forward to this summer. But for now, it's the Movie Cuban signing out, everybody. Go see Jurassic World. If you haven't seen it yet, go. Take the $3 to $10 it would take you for a movie ticket and just go. Go to the next one. Go to the next available fucking movie time. You will not regret it. Movie Cuban here, signing out. Real hyped about Jurassic World. I hope you all can share the hype with me.